We made it!
This is our 10,000 subscriber special. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Daniel.
And our channel is Wanderlocal. It's taken us almost a year to get from 0 to 10,000 subscribers. And there has been a lot of wandering local in between then and now. So, we're going to first start today by telling you about why we even started a YouTube channel to begin with.
We're going to answer some of your most frequently asked questions.
Then we're going to talk about some of our favorite moments, and yours too.
Finally, stay until the very end of the video for some never-before-seen footage and some bloopers.
And yes, we know, y'all think you've already seen them, but we promise you haven't. Okay, let's do this. 3 years ago, we decided to sell everything we owned, pick up a minimalistic lifestyle, and travel the globe.
And we found ourselves stuck in Africa.
We were in the Sahara Desert when all the borders around the world closed thanks to the you-know-what. We were some of the lucky ones. We were used to traveling full-time. It didn't really matter if we got stuck in Morocco. But there were other people who it wasn't going to be so convenient for. And we started having conversations on social media with these people who were stuck, running out of money, separated from family and children, needed more medication. And so we decided that we would use our voices and our company, which happens to be an ad agency, and get the word out through media relations to the world about Americans stuck abroad. It was a really rewarding experience because once we finally took rescue flights home from the US, we had a couple of reporters come back and let us know that our stories had really helped make a difference in getting people home. And from there, we realized it didn't really matter how much work a YouTube channel was going to be. We wanted to do more to get our voices out there and do more good in the world.
When we returned to the US, one thing became apparent to us. Small businesses were struggling.
Ours included.
So that's when we came up with the Wanderlocal mission.
We had always loved traveling and experiencing local cultures. Now our travel lifestyle didn't make sense internationally, but we wanted to continue to explore the United States. And that's how we ended up living in the Airstream because, well, it's made here in the USA in Jackson Center, Ohio, and it would allow us to explore and highlight local businesses around the country, which they needed.
Small businesses are the backbone of this country. It's what makes each community unique, and that is what we wanted to highlight.
And so, our YouTube channel was born, Wanderlocal, because as you know, it's good for the soul.
All right, time to talk about some of those questions you've asked most often. And this first question comes from Douglas Payne, who asked, so, do y'all work? Or how do you finance your RV lifestyle?
RV lifestyle can be as expensive or as cheap as you want it to be. We do work full-time. So, thankfully, over the last year and a half, our small business, which is an ad agency, has started doing significantly better than it did at the beginning of the pandemic. So we still both have full-time jobs that we work from the road, which is great because, well, there are tons of full-time jobs these days that you can work remote with just a laptop and good internet connection.
The cost, even if you finance an RV, is still a lot less than it was for maybe a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment back where we came from.
When you start adding up the costs of RV living, especially if you're not doing a lot of boondocking or dry camping, if you're staying the night in RV parks regularly, it definitely can add up. For us, we try to shoot for staying at RV parks that are less than $60 a night on average and kind of budget from there. Then, of course, we have our Airstream and our truck, which we have monthly payments on, so it can add up quickly. Especially because we love to travel and experience new fun things, the fact that we travel every other week definitely adds up from a gas perspective. In case you missed the memo, gas prices haven't gone down in the last year and a half.
That's a very good point. So there are some ways that you could reduce your expenses. So for instance, staying in the same campground for longer than 2 weeks.
A lot of campgrounds actually offer monthly rates. Really and truly, how much it costs to live the RV lifestyle is different for every single person. We've talked to some RVers who say they've saved tons of money living this lifestyle, and then we've talked to others who say they spend way more than they would have back in their sticks and bricks. We do save more money traveling this way than when we were living in hotels and Airbnbs traveling internationally, but from a standpoint of saving more money from our sticks and bricks, It's probably about the same. What made you both decide to see the whole country in an RV?
The answer is that home is wherever you park it.
That's so true. So, like we mentioned before, we were traveling for a year and a half via airplanes, which was an incredible experience. But when the pandemic happened, it just didn't make sense anymore. Living in an RV is our own secluded space to still live a travel lifestyle and still feel safe. RV life has kind of stuck for us. We originally thought when we were going to travel the country that it would be for a year. Our goal was to visit 50 states in 365 days. What we didn't know as RV newbies is that was an insane goal. Moving to a different state every week, Texas and California alone take weeks to traverse because they're so large. So we learned very quickly that that was never going to happen. But what we also learned is that we absolutely loved being able to bring the comforts of home with us while we traveled, which was completely different from, staying in somebody else's home in an Airbnb or staying in just another hotel room somewhere across the world. So we've really fallen in love with RV life and can't wait to continue our journey. We're definitely still going to be doing all 50 states. It's just going to take us a little bit longer than 365 days.
What things have broken on the RV?
This is such a popular question. So one of the reasons we chose our Airstream specifically is because they are known for really high quality RVs. But that being said, just because you have a high quality RV doesn't mean that things aren't going to break. And if you're brand new to RV life like we were when we started, a lot of that's going to be to user error.
A perfect example of that is the one thing that no new RVer should ever do. Leave your awning out.
This is what we came home to.
Not ideal. You can't account for those rogue storms when you're away from the RV. So, as a rule of thumb, retract your awning.
Or at night when you sleep. We see people do that all the time. It's a horrible time to leave your awning out as well. What are other things that have broken, Daniel?
Well, there's the fact that I dented the truck and cracked the truck taillight.
Again, user error.
Oh, the taillight cracked.
When did we do that? How did we do that? You must have hit, when you were turned at like a diagonal angle, you must have hit it.
Awesome. If you're watching some of our earlier videos, you're probably wondering to yourself, how are they going to make it? There's surely no way they'll make it in this RV lifestyle because we made so many silly mistakes.
That's probably a really good segue into our next section, our top favorite moments from 0 to 10,000 subscribers. I think my favorite first series of experiences were actually the very first couple of days after we picked up the Airstream. Because we had 0 RV experience.
None.
Daniel might have towed a small fishing boat before we picked up the Airstream.
Bass boat, very, very small.
And our Airstream is 30 feet long and 10,000 pounds. So it was kind of like someone allowed us to pick up a small train with no experience. So, in all honesty, I have absolutely no idea what's happening right now, but we've moved the Airstream to where we're going to park it and pack it, but now that we've done that, we can't get it off the hitch. That's all I got. It gets very technical from there, something about power and connectivity, and I have no idea, but Daniel is on the phone with the Airstream team, and they're awesome, so they are going to help us figure it out.
It's working all the time.
Did we say we have no idea what we were doing? After we finally got the Airstream loaded and off on the road, the next mistake we made was that we were going to go to Disney's Fort Wilderness, which is wicked cool, but it was on Labor Day weekend.
Well, we made it to Camp Fort Wilderness, or at least just outside, but the line looks like it might take us a while to actually get to our spot from here.
Did you get it parked into position?
I got it partially.
Come on back. Watch the bumper. Come on back. You got it. Start straightening it out the other way. Yeah, you got to turn the wheel the other way. You got to come straighten out. You're good. You're on the path. You're on the path. Just watch the bumper.
Okay, so on the maybe 30th attempt, I got it part of the way in.
Technically, you didn't actually complete your first parking experience.
If this were basketball, I would call it an assist. Word of advice though, if you're going out on your maiden voyage with your Airstream or any RV, don't do it on a holiday weekend. You're just making life a lot more difficult than it should be. Let's just say that there were a lot of things I was dreading early on in this RV lifestyle. 1 was towing, 2 was backing up, and 3 was, of course, emptying the tanks. So one of us decided to take an hour-long shower, and what that means is that all the tanks fill up. So I was putting this off until I could get some rubber gloves, but I've just got these kind of like squishy gloves for some of the other things. But unfortunately, I can't wait to get the rubber gloves because literally the tanks are filled. I'm not going to call anybody out on that, but it's not me, so process of elimination, I'll let you use your imagination. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I'm not covered in it, but if I am, there's a lake close by that I can run and scream and jump in, just in case things go sideways, because I'll probably end up doing that.
We quickly got a hang of what RV life was like.
So our first major stop was in Townsend, Tennessee, where I was running the virtual Boston Marathon.
And from there, Daniel went on to run a total of 4 marathons, which was pretty nuts. He ran, I biked. We ate way too many donuts on the Ohio Donut Trail and had way too much wine on the back half of the Michigan Marathon. But then the last marathon that we did was in Springfield, Missouri.
And it was your very first marathon.
The hills are torture. Like, when we looked at the course, it looked like it was relatively flat. It said it only went up and down like 100 feet throughout the whole thing, but it didn't say that it was up and down 100 feet over and over and over again, just back to back.
And it was painful because I didn't train. But the best part about that marathon was truly the fact that this crazy kid dressed up as Cousin Eddie. Yay!
We're in a marathon. Yes.
It wasn't long after that marathon stretch that we found ourselves at one of the scariest campgrounds we have ever stayed at.
Kind of, it looks a little bit cockeyed, but I wanted to make sure that we could very easily get into the front door here on our Airstream. But we're real close, like that close. We're like that close to the swamp area here. It's gonna make for some great morning views, no doubt.
Sure enough, Daniel was right. The sunrise views over the Louisiana bayou are stunning. But we were really worried that alligators had made camp under the Airstream. When checking with the Osmo camera didn't work, Dee did the only thing that seemed logical. It was more beautiful than it was scary. But we stayed at a Harvest Host in the Louisiana bayou called Champagne Swamp Tours. If you're not familiar with Harvest Host, it's an awesome member-based service that's really inexpensive that allows you to stay at local farms, wineries, breweries, golf courses even, and some museums. So it's a cool way to be able to park your RV overnight and stay so you don't have to stay at some of those dreaded places like the Walmart parking lot.
If you want to learn a little bit more about Harvest Host, we'll include a link in the description. And how, honestly, can we even talk about the last year without talking about Texas?
I think it tried to kill us.
That ought to do it. Okay. The hypothesis is that maybe I can use the truck to charge the onboard batteries. That's at least a plan.
Do you know what degree it is outside?
Like, too cold degree. It's too cold degree right now. It's so windy out here. Well, that is not fun.
So, what are we gonna do?
Honestly, I'm thinking that today's a good day to kick up the...
There we go.
To commemorate all of the madness that happened in Texas, we met up with our friend Bill and we all got matching
Airstream tattoos.
A little nervous, but I'm good.
Yeah.
After we finally escaped Texas, we went to New Mexico, where we found one of our favorite, like, unexpectedly fun national parks, White Sands National Park.
First person cam, gonna give you a full experience today. I'm gonna try a running head start because that makes sense, right? Okay, here we go.
After our experience at White Sands National Park, we headed over towards California. And we had the most wonderful time in Joshua Tree. And as far as being a local focused city, that may be one of the coolest places that we have been on our trip so far.
If you've never heard of the Joshua Tree Music Festival, you're missing out. They have one big event each year, but they also have a series of spring concerts, which is what we're attending. The vibe of this place is simply magic. It's totally outdoors, and listening to live music under the desert sky is so relaxing. As you can see, the venue's set up for multiple stages and tons of local vendors, and the desert style is really unlike anything we've seen elsewhere.
So if you haven't been to Joshua Tree, it is absolutely worth it to put on your list. The sunsets are magnificent, the local grub is awesome, and of course, Joshua Tree National Park is hard to beat. It is mind-blowing how much we've actually done from 0 to 10,000 subscribers. Because after that, that was when we went to Sedona, Arizona, and did our very first full week of boondocking.
After a restful night's sleep, we got up bright and early the next morning because Samson's parents and our new boondocking friends, Ron and Terry, invited us on an exciting Red Rocks adventure. Sedona is an outdoor wanderer's dream. With over 200 trails covering 300 miles of breathtaking scenery, there's something for everyone.
We took on a whole new adventure when we headed to San Diego. And that's when we met our friends Ciamara and Frank from Lilly's Organizing. And they gutted the Airstream and helped us redo everything, which was mind-blowing.
I'm shocked at how much unused space there is behind the hanging clothes. We're gonna find some dead animals, bodies. That's not mine. Those aren't mine.
That's all Lauren's, right?
So Cece, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is this closet?
Well, the thing is that I never think nothing is bad. It just needs to have a functional space. So it doesn't have a functional space right now.
Even minimalists can be hoarders, and that's how we felt.
Well, and we found out from CMR that apparently the thing that I like to hoard is groceries.
And apparently I like to hoard running shoes. Who knew?
After we made our way up the California coast, it was time for us to head to our very first Airstream International Rally, aka where 800 other Airstreams get together, park for a week, and hang out. It's a blast. But we kind of had to get from California to Lebanon, Tennessee in like 3 weeks to make that happen. So we decided that we would get brave, aka Daniel would get brave, and let me drive the Airstream. It's gonna be great. I'm just gonna take it wide because I'm very big.
Right.
So does the Airstream come out further than my truck does? Like
Yes.
width-wise?
Definitely.
Okay, I thought so just from seeing them.
Yeah.
Okay, so no cars are coming. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take it
Wide.
wide.
Yep. Honestly, without Lauren helping to tow across the country, we probably wouldn't have made it to the rally. I mean, you're talking about covering thousands of miles in a very short period of time.
From 0 to 10,000 subscribers, it is probably the one moment I am most proud of. Like when we go back and watch that video, I have on my sunglasses as I'm like driving, and you can't tell, but I'm like totally tearing up because I'm so proud of myself. It was this amazing moment where I just felt like I had conquered something that I was really nervous about and wasn't sure if I could do, but it worked out great. And now I really enjoy towing the Airstream. So I think those are some of our favorite top moments from 0 to 10,000 subscribers. It is incredible how much we've managed to do in a year. So we would also be remiss if we didn't first give a shout out to 2 other YouTubers who have been hugely influential for us. Gabe over at Thru and also Alex at The Wads. You guys have helped us so much in better understanding how YouTube works, and part of this is you guys' success too. And last but most certainly not least is our incredible video editor, Matt. He is the reason our videos are anywhere near as entertaining as they are, and he also makes us funnier than we are in real life, which is kind of awesome.
Honestly, he is just as important to this channel as the 2 of us. He puts in so much work behind the scenes, and for that, we will be forever grateful.
But without further ado, we know what you've all been waiting for.
Bloopers!
But before we go, make sure you Wanderlocal this week. After all, it's good for the soul. After we got back from Morocco,
So there's a little bit of water pressure, or it's cold, so my brain's not working as quick as it normally would. I went ahead and ordered these quick release adapters thanks to some comments, so appreciate that. That's gonna spray it. Okay, so
it's already hot.
it's already freaking hot. Like, it's already burning.
I feel like a fire dragon.
I feel my hair follicles.
You okay?
Yeah, I can feel my ears like ringing right now.
And that's gonna work better if you actually have bait.
Yep. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
So we have to find the truck, but my legs really hurt, so I just sat down instead.
Yeah, no, I gotcha. Oh boy, I gotcha. Okay, it's cool, I gotcha. You get to drop it like it's hot. Dropping it like it's hot.
What's that? No more hills. That's your mom.
First things first.
No, don't hit the camera. Not doing that. Not doing that.
Make some good footage on there.
That part, not so much. Excuse me. This belongs to me.